Good morning! Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee. Annie from Squiddo Games. If this is your first time here, this is our weekly chat where we talk about what's happened in Bad Squiddo this week. Sort of interesting topics sometimes from the wargame land, what I've been up to, and what's going on. What's going on, basically. Thought this is all gone strange. Here we are, audio visual, excellent. I moved a few things into the background, but because I haven't checked it, they're like the bits that are right behind me, so you can't actually see them. But I will work on this backdrop and not have my washing. That's a guinea pig blanket there. So I've got a bunch, my notes are all the way over here for some reason. Let's move those. There's a whole bunch of notes. There's a bunch of people. We had record numbers view last week's show, funnily enough. Apologies to anyone that was looking for it. I took it down. I'll go into that in a bit. But it had the Streisand effect where everyone went to have a little look. So yeah, I'll go into that. But yeah, I realised how important the show is to a bunch of people, and when I whimsically take it down, I'm like, I'll think a little bit more next time before I do that. So yes, thank you for coming along. Thank you for really liking the show. It makes me happy that people like this rumbliness. We've got celebrities in the comments there. Got Mr. John Hodgson illustration. Mug reveal. I do have on topic. I do sometimes look to be on topic. I have my Grace Petrie, You Will Never Will Surrender to a Narrow View of Gender from one of the best songs ever, because that's a topic at the mo, isn't it? That was actually my first sip of delicious coffee today. Imagine how much more progress women's rights would get if people weren't trying to get everyone to fight each other. I was thinking about this, but that's a whole other thing. As in, just to be clear, um, all this, all the discussion of trying to figure out each other's chromosomes and all this weird stuff. Maybe look at the issues that women are facing from men, but it's almost like the people that are manufacturing that outrage are maybe wanting that. So yeah, that sucks. So I did just want to say extra to anyone who's trans or non-binary and watches this and has been having a bit of a crap time, because there's been some really horrible things in the news at the moment. That not everyone thinks that, and I know that doesn't really help when all the stuff everywhere is being horrible. But I hope that you know that there are quite a lot of us, not even a little amount. It's always the horribles that you see over everything else. So sorry you're having a crap time, but we like you. We like you having around, and as part of Sunday Morning Coffee as well. So yeah, just want to add that in. Oh no, there's politics on the channel. No, it's not. It's people's right to exist. Ah. You were good. Um, so yeah, good morning. What Bad Squiddo views on women's rights, being supportive of people? What is this? So what have we got today? I've got a very cool thing on show and tell. What have we got? Oh, things kicking off at Sean's summer barbecue. Very well done. Very well done. It's like come full circle, and there's ways that you have to look again to be a woman, which is bizarre. Yeah. So what have we got? What have we got here? It's very HD, this camera. I've got my laptop because I'm doing some work today at home. So where shall I begin? I've got the coolest thing ever, but I feel I need to withhold it a little bit before you get to see it. I have the story of the library fight, the old man that I purchased, unconnected to Bring Out Your Lead, which I was at yesterday. I'll probably start with Bring Out Your Lead, and that'll lead me on to this absolute masterpiece that I've got here. So yesterday, so it's been, I'll go into the week in a bit. It's been a bit of a crappy week. Friday night, Saturday morning, I was really not wanting to go to Bring Out Your Lead. I was thinking, you know what, I'm fed up. I've been very fed up this week, and I thought am I gonna have to go and um I don't know, what's the word? There's various folks I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. I just thought, do I need to just rest basically? Because there's been quite this year. There's been quite a lot of background issues with various folk in the industry and such. And I thought, I don't know who's going to be there. A lot of people that I normally catch up with weren't there, so I was a bit like, could just chill. But then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go because I always like it, and I always and anything like that, I come back from with this like, oh, it's people enjoying themselves. So I kicked myself up the arse. The main bit where I went, oh crap, I do need to go, so it's not even an option, is I was collecting something from somebody there. Ooh, which I'm gonna that's the best thing ever. Um so right, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna enjoy myself. I think the weather being cooler helped as well because it's been getting a bit hot. And yeah, I've just been a bit bummed out this week, which I'll go into as well. And that was it. I was kind of thinking, shall I just avoid people? I'm sure I'll say something where I'll get myself into trouble again or something. Um, so yeah, so I went and drum roll. That was more of just a shake. I had a really nice time. I had a really nice time. And I met lots of new people. Who knew? And I caught up with more people than I realised that were there. Because there's never like a list of who's going. Look through the attendee list. And yeah, I caught up with a whole bunch of people and had a really nice time. I had 3 whole pints. 3 whole pints. So it's if anyone's not been before, bring out your leads, also known as BOYL is a oh sorry, distracted. Robert has got the new flat and has got a vintage enamel coffee pot. Yes, yes. I actually treated myself to a nice little marble. It was only small, not a big bit of marble, but a little small marble thing that I've got masking as I was last week. I'm going to get something nice. So I'm going to take a picture. My tea installation at work is just getting ridiculously fancy, but it makes me happy. It's one of those little like. So yes, I appreciate that, and yes, well done on your new flat. Sean must go and bring the boys. Yes, yes, you should. It's very fun. Um, so it's that sort of atmosphere. So bring out your lead is held every year at Foundry. Foundry's HQ is like Newark, and sorry, I'm just thinking about coffee. Hang on, I was looking at it going, you beautiful thing. So every year they open the doors and the area is set in it's like an old stables, and so you get the shops there. So you can buy anything Foundry. Hey, Mike Tung's here, who was here yesterday. He's going to get a little shout out in a bit. And I'm talking about BOYL and how everyone's really nice. So every year they open the doors like the Wonka factory and let people in, let them in. And it's, as people were saying, there's no particular word to describe it. It's a meeting of hobbyists. So other than the Foundry shop, which just lives there, there's nothing for sale, and there's no tournaments. It's just people play it a bit like Mates and Minis, but bigger. It's people playing games, chatting, showing each other models. So there's lots of gents with little boxes going, "Oh, have you seen this?" And someone going, "Oh, all of those." Mike, saw you doing it. And it's just really nice, and it's just people all gathered, no specific agenda, just to hang out, catch up with folk, play games. I've never played a game there because I have really bad attention span. So when there's people to chat to and I'm trying to play games, I just annoy my opponent. So I've never done that. I think if I went more than one day at some point, I might play like on the Sunday or something. So it's still on today. It's still on if you're thinking, dang, that's round the corner, I should go there. It's really nice. There's a bunch of the oldies turn up. So the old The old ones. My Facebook memory thing came up of a couple of years ago, and I said, "It's the gathering of the ancient ones." I think Blanche had said something like, "Oi, let's to the ancient." But you get a lot of the through various periods of Warhammer all coming along. And then you get to chat. So there's a lot of fanboying going on as well, because it's like that's that person that did the walking around like a normal person. So that's pretty much what you do. You just go hang out. There's food and drink, not just beer. There's coffee, and yeah, just have a nice time. And last year I had concussion when I went, so it was a bit of a daze. So this year I was like, no concussion, so I got to do a lot more chatting, and I wasn't sure if it was something that would drain me because I've been in a downer, or something that would boost me, and it boosted me. Yay! We've got a few more coming along, including Lil. Mum's here. Hey, Mum. Woohoo. Hey, Mum. Let's bring out your lead. I didn't bring out any lead. Dun, dun, dun. So I went with, in celeb car, I went with Tim Prow. I've got loads of viewers this morning. I hope there's some like first for controversy or something. You can see how YouTubers do this now, that you start being like, oh, I'm just gonna controversy. Ooh. So I went with Tim Prow, the sculptor, who's never in the chat. I'm going to tell him off. Who also runs Die Hard Miniatures. I, for the first time, met Drew Williams, the sculptor. He got a company? I just know him as Drew Williams Sculptor. He's an American, and he'd come over for some boily action. So I hadn't met him before, and he was very lovely. So in our car of people, carness. My brain's gone into da 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 da. But yeah, so Drew, so that's cool. Satyr Art, that's the one. Yes, and he's done stuff with Tim as Die Hard, I think. So we had him, and we had Tim Pollard, who was I think he still is the official Robin Hood of Nottingham. What a title! And he's done some writing and still continues to do some writing. He's one of those sort of been around the world, around the wargaming, especially Warhammer world, for a while. Tim says, "I worried you'd say you had 3 pints. When you say you'd had 3 pints, I was worried the next bit would be, and then I fought the berries for beating in that historical poll." Yeah, they weren't there. I don't think they've ever been. I don't know if that's. It could be ancient beef. There's so much ancient beef. I should just do a show one day where I go, you know what? I tell you everything. Tell you everything we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. That was me. I was making that up. I have no idea. But there's always people where I think, I've never seen them here. But maybe they went ages ago. I don't know. So who was there? There were quite a few people missing this time. Oh, I didn't know Jordan Sorcery did an interview with Tim Pollard. Oh, I may need to look that up. He's extra lovely. We had a really nice chat on the way back and over beers as well. So I now I'm now friends, declared now friends with the official Nottingham Robin Hood. Ooh, ooh. So that's the thing about Bring Out Your Lead. So what did I do with Bring Out Your Lead? So I went with those fellas. We had a fun little car drive over there. And I did what I normally do, loiter around. I think I immediately went beer, have a beer. It's been one of those weeks. So I got oh, yes, I totally agree with you there, Robin. Basic human decency. But I do appear to be controversial. Is ancient beef the male version of old cow? God. There was some ancient beef. So there's games going on, there's stuff to look at, and I didn't have most of my usual squad with me, but I had a new squad. So I kind of wandered about, did what I normally do, wander around, chat to people, look at some games, just kind of revel in seeing people playing games and being really happy. So people play old versions of Warhammer games or other games that were sort of old Citadel bits, things before my time. And I get to see lots of stuff where I think, oh, I thought I knew Old Hammer, but that's Old Hammer. And the first time I went years ago, 'cause I've been there quite a few times now. I was a bit like, "Oh, I hope it's not gonna be people going, 'Oh, the good old days, everything's crap now.'" And I was a bit like, "Oh, what am I going to?" I went, "No, it's lovely. You can it's the whole thing. You can enjoy a thing without being rubbish to a different thing." And, you know, just 'cause people like old Hammer doesn't mean they hate new Hammer or they even know what's going on. They even know what's going on at the moment. You know what I mean? It's just an appreciation for something rather than a hatred for anything else. And that's really lovely. And people spend a lot, you know, the whole year building up really lovely boards and things like that. Um, like Peter says, someone starts a game of Rogue Trader, they finish turn one Sunday evening. I think that's pretty much it. Sorry, I touched that and it went way. Um, and I saw, gonna get to the show and tell. I saw Matt Lindsay, who I met at Mates and Minis, who runs Indelible Ink, which is which brain, painting commission and scratch building funky sci-fi stuff. So he'd made for the Still Tower, Pablo, he'd made the Still Tower, and he had a bunch of stuff at Mates and Minis, and I got chatting to him and went, "No way, you make all this stuff." So we decided to do one thing and just kind of see how it goes, and then this was to be like a bit of a tester as to whether I'm going to get him to do a whole bunch of scenery for me. So I did. Poor guy, I did make an audience appear when he got it out of the box, so it was a lot of pressure, but it paid off because I did a big squeal. So check this out. So you're getting the side views first before you see the front. So he's built this. I love stuff built from scratch parts. So it's like, oh look, there's some cable ties, bits of sprue, bits of squid, oh, toilet, a little bit of Squiddo, like bottle caps. I just love all those little bits. Um, oh, Carmine the Wolf, I met you at BOYL last year, but you had a concussion. Oh, hopefully I wasn't too weird. I saw someone this year who said, "Oh, I thought you'd fallen out with me last year because you kind of just stared off into the distance." So oh no, no, it's just a poorly. So we've got this terrain. I haven't even seen the front yet. Maybe you can figure out that bit. So at the top, can't spoiler the grand reveal. This is apparently the top of one of those LOL surprise dolls. And you can't quite see on here, but there's lots of plants inside it. Ooh. No! Carmine the Wolf is the mat. He's there. Yay! You get to see. So Carmine the Wolf in the chat there made this, and made lots of really nice. So Curtis from Ramshackle Games, he has this massive board and a massive game. And are you at BOYL or are you only there yesterday? So they had a massive game and so much of the trains made by Matt. So you ready for the grand reveals? We've got those there. So I just love all these little bits. Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? I swear I drop it. Drop. Can you see? Veggies and greens. Get your veggies and greens. Oh, the leg. It's a little leg. It's so good. It's so good. Get your veggies and greens. Oh, I can't wait to take photos with this. I'm gonna have queues of pigs going out the door. Oh, they've got their opening time. Please, we want our veggies and greens. Ah, I love how everyone's really happy. Yes, that is it. That is the best. Pegaponics, yeah, now it will make sense. Like there's your pegaponics. I love the bits of Squiddo dropped about as well because I kept sort of finding them going, there's a bit. That is it. I'm just gonna keep holding it. Pegaponics. You up on there. I might have I'm gonna have guards. I'm gonna have armed guards as well. And the pigs trying to rush it because it's like Black Friday at Pegaponics. Or just Friday because pigs are insatiable all the time. So yeah, it has to be guarded. Yes, the law grows. It has to be guarded. That could even be a scenario in Gunny Pets as well that you've got to raid the pig ponics shop. It's so cute. So thank you very much. Oh, I blurred out. I got that excited. I blurred away. Um, Having the little egg on there is just the best bit ever. If you've been a follower for a while, you'll know the lore of the little egg. Um, oh, nice! You added. I was wondering. I was like, oh, bits bad Squiddo bits. I had some for the thievery at for the consensual thievery and a box of bits for people that made some minis. It's like if you want to take some bits home. So there's some cool bits that have made their way into that. Yeah, I was like, nice. So I totally want to make a whole town of themed post-apocalyptic stuff. So yes, yes. So thank you. That's cool. Cheers to Matt and the awesome piece of terrain. It's nice to have a proper chat as well, as is at those sort of events. I met a whole bunch of people. Quite a lot of people I didn't know would be there. People like Mike in the comments there. Had a very in-depth conversation with Mike about the joy of storage furniture and the joy of modular Kallax and IKEA stuff and really useful boxes. All hail, all hail. My house is a tip at the moment, so I'm going to be looking around going, how can I make this better? That's part of my plan for today, like the child I am, is to tidy my room because that's the last room that gets any attention. Because the public areas where I have any energy, I tidy the living room, kitchen, and my room is like a teenager's room at the moment. It's just clothes and stuff and books everywhere. And 4 backpacks. There's 4 backpacks, all which are very the daily backpack. They're going away for a night or two backpack. The big going away for longer backpack and the laptop backpack. You've got to have them all, but they're all in a row at the moment. Going, it's like a lot of bags. Mm. So I've written BOYL, peak thing. I've also got Ada fight, old man written on my thing. Is that where Mike Tongue stores his 42 Marauder Giants? One Kallax cube each. He's just got a wall of it like that. One little light under each Marauder Giant. So BOYL, bring out your lead. Highly recommend as a day to go and just relax and have fun and just wander about. And that's somebody that struggles with being over scheduled all the time. It's nice when there's no specific thing to do. I'll show you. My phone's on 6%. Come on, phone. Is my phone ever on not 6%? I purposely didn't show the peak Ponics anywhere so that this was the grand reveal, but I took this really cute picture yesterday of Dave. So you can see it now. No, not smart view. You don't have a telly. This is Dave reviewing it. No, when it focuses because I've got the actual camera. Oh, it did focus anyway. Get out of my face. Come on, focus, focus. Oh, it was a treat. But look at Dave. Dave is going, oh yeah, love it. I always have to put a disclaimer with Dave. Look at the eye. He's got a messed up eye, bless him. But it's normal. It's normal. Every time I put it, people go, is he okay? Yeah. He came with that eye. He will pass eventually into the next world with that eye. Or maybe without that eye, depending on how it goes. Look at it. Ooh. It's just some like random extra skin he's got, bless him. So he has to have his eye drops every day. Good old Dave. Without warning, if no one's, I keep clicking smart view instead of rotate. No, rotate. What you really wanted this morning is Tim Prowl with his belly out. Ah, Tim Prowl with his belly out. It's going for you. Oh no, I'm down to 5%. It killed my phone. It's killing it. But I will, before it dies, show you the nice picture I took of the gang, the squad. Oh, come on, give me that last bit of light before you die, phone. You can do this. Final light. Where's the light option? There it is. So this was a nice picture from yesterday of not Tim Prowl. Not the Tim Prowse belly. Then look, everyone having a nice time. Because I'm really bad at getting pictures anywhere. Because I always feel like a dick taking pictures. So that's me there. And I won't put my hand. So I'll go on, focus. It's gone for the fit. Oh no, no, no! You can do it. You can do it. No, no! I'm accidentally doing a phone call. Am I an old man? Maybe I'm the old man. Was the old man all along? Oh yeah. We show your masterpiece to Prowl's hairy black hole of a belly button. So there, look, there's a squad. So I won't try and point at it and for it to go off, but when it does eventually focus, there's me, and then in order next to that is Mr. Tim Pollard, Mr. Mike Tongue from the chat there, my washing up. Oh God, you can see the washing up. Let's move that down there. There's Drew. He's gone. He's gone. There's Drew, and the chap on the end is Mr. Prowl, who you've just seen the belly button off. Yeah, that phone's gone. I can't anymore. So yeah, I've got record viewers. I'm sure they've all see how many leave for the Tim Prowl belly button exposing. He's ridiculous. I said, go on, show us your belly. And that was it. That was it. That's the filth that occurs at such events. The scandal. The sculptor's gone wild. Jez, I like you have to point at the only one without a beard and say that's me, just in case, just in case. Um, I actually, in shocking news, possibly the most shocking thing of this scandalous stream, is that I wore a dress yesterday and I wore a dress on Friday. Wore a dress on Friday and went, this isn't actually that bad. Did it again on Saturday out at BOYL. And my lack of being used to compliments and awkwardness around it. I answered the door to the postman, and he did that sort of like, "Oh, where you going? You look nice," sort of thing. And instead of like, "Oh, thank you," I went, just going out, okay." And then I had to go, "Thank you very much." He's a nice postman. Really like a postman. Yeah, I was. Yeah, just going out, all right. Just because I've got to. Because most of the time he sees me in my pajamas, going, "What year is this?" So that was funny. Um, so what have we got? Yes, if you wore a dress like at BOYL, you would have been a much cooler. Um, top tip. I love that the toilets. Talking about the toilets at BOYL have the two genders, unisex and men. So each time I'm kind of like, no, there's no lay. It's just a unisex. Okay. There's obviously not that many women on the day-to-day there to facilitate an extra toilet block. It's not a quiz. It's just one of those funny things of those places. I've been in pubs like that as well. Like, you don't get many women clientele, do you? Most gaming centres till recently, the ladies was always the disabled, but they put lady and disabled rather than just use it. It's fine. It's fine. It just makes me laugh when I see it. Mm, coffee. Mm. So bring out your lads. Top Day, highly recommend. Peak Thing, also recommend. Fight at the library. Um, there was a fight at the library. What's going on there? It's a that bit there needs sorting out. Um, Sean says aren't all individual use gender neutral. They are, yes. But I mean, there's no like ladies' toilet block there. Just I think one's just urinals. But anyway, enough toilet talk. We've seen Tim Prell's belly button. That should be the tagline in the thing actually. But then nobody would have come, would they? So you want to hear about and library fight and the old man. Peter said went to a comic convention early 2000. One of the ladies lose had a sign changing it to men's. I was at South Coast GT, right? Something like 2013 or 14, maybe. Um, and it's one of those big venues, so it has like 20 loos in each toilet, and it's always a little bit of a treat when there's when you're at somewhere like some bands where there's not as many women there, or some wargaming stuff. There's not as many women, so feels like you've got your own personal toilet block, and it's all clean and nice. And after a few hours, they'd changed that to a men's and given us the disabled toilet. I was like, "Oh, take it away from me, my fortress of solitude, to get away from the men." So again, yes. So I went to a talk on Tuesday morning, and I thought, are there going to be many people at this talk? It's midweek, midday. It's a talk on Ada Lovelace escaping Byron's shadow that I'd only just happened to see. What have I got? Looking around. I only just happened to see when I was looking for someone else ages ago and went, I'm down. I'm down to that. I love a talk. I've been doing a lot of talk attendees lately. So I went to the library, which was a good break because I've just been in, so I've been in a bit of a bleh. So I'll go to the library. Maybe, you know, there'll be a few students there or something. Got there and it was a queue. It was absolutely packed. I'd say it was sold out, but it was free. So it was freed out. And I saw there were 70 places. There were 70 people there. Dr. I forgot her name off the top of my head, Farina, I think. She's from Nottingham Uni. She does a lot of tech and AI stuff, and she was talking about Ada Lovelace and how she'd kind of forged her own fame rather than being under the shadow of Byron. And it was really interesting. What I really liked was the bit about how her mum so hard tried to keep her away from poetry and the arts because they'll corrupt you and make you all, you know, drunk and promiscuous and immoral and all that sort of thing. Can't comment on that. But then so by keeping her away from that, going, you have to do the maths and the sciences, that'll keep you normal. And then sort of became part of the phrase I really liked was poetic science. And it is that sort of more artsy science. I was like, yes, you can't keep anyone away from the poetry, they'll find a way. And it was really interesting talk about how current use of AI kind of goes back to stuff that you can reference stuff that she wrote a long time ago about it. And she'd kind of been talking about these possibilities, like maybe one day the computer can she wanted to get, I think it was the analytical engine, to be able to compose music and stuff like that, and everyone's like, no, it can't be done, and now it's happening. And then there's that whole debate about AI, and it was just really interesting. The place was packed. I managed to get bonus to go in places on your own. There's always one spare seat, so I managed to slink into the front. And got my little ice. I'm now into iced coffee, so I have my little iced coffee. And then really at the end, this guy says, "Well, actually, she none of these were her ideas. She just got credit for Babbage's ideas, which is not true." So anyone not aware, she did work under, because he was very established at the time, under Charles Babbage, and she kind of vibed on some of his equations and things, and kind of like added to it and improved and came up with new stuff based on that. But yeah, this guy was like, no, it was all him. And I had that, like, I always think the siren noise from Kill Bill just like pops into my head quite a lot. I was like, and he was sat next to me, so I was like, I'm not with the man, I'm not with the man. And before I could formulate an outrage, they turned around. I started hearing shouting. They turned around, and the majority, maybe 80% of the people there, were women over 65. I thought, that's, you know, it's really busy because the people that can go are people that are retired, and not, you know, having to go anywhere else. And I thought it was lovely that they'd all come. So I'm not going, it was all full of old ladies. But the fact it was full of old ladies who are notorious for not holding in their thoughts. They've been here a while. They've had their time. They've had the time of being quiet or being silent. They've got this newfound freedom that comes with age, and they are not going to be quiet. And that's why I love old ladies. And so, including Mum, I don't know if she's still there in the chat, but Mum would totally have been in there. They all just started shouting at it. It's brilliant. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. They weren't just incoherently shouting, but they were shouting about, how women's achievements have been uncovered and how have been covered over and how dare he. Um, and it was just beautiful. I was just like, this moment will stay with me forever. He did pretty much get like handbagged and caned to death. Some say he was found crawling out of the Broadmarsh ruins afterwards. But yeah, it was brilliant. I was just like, yes, yes, the angry injustice of the older lady. I'm, as they say, here for it. It was amazing. And he kind of just like stopped then and went and moved on to other questions. Because when I did my talk last week, that was my fear. Because I'm like, someone's going to do a, well, actually, you're wrong thing. And I'm like, I don't know how I'd handle it. And I'm hoping that there'll just be enough elderly ladies in my audience to just get him. So I might have to bring like a retinue along, I think. Um, but the other bit, when she was engaging with him, she did just kind of like just stop. So I think that's what I'll do. So I'll go, next question, when that inevitably happens, because I believe it will. Mum says, we oldies take no crap. Yeah, it was beautiful. So that absolutely made my day. And then I chatted to her afterwards and I gave her a little Ada Lovelace and she was really happy with that. I like going to talks where I can give someone a little gift afterwards. And I think she struggled a bit because there were a few issues with like the sound and that guy probably would have totally knocked me off my like, what on earth are you talking about? So I gave her a nice little gift and I showed her the painted Ada Lovelace. So yeah, that was really nice. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to chill out in the library because Nottingham Library is just the best place ever. And it's so nice and it makes me sad. They're currently voting what to do with it. I think I mentioned this last week that they're like, how can we strip this down for assets because the council's bankrupt? Like, no, it's the best place. And I was partly thinking, is libraries though somewhere that everyone sort of campaigns for, but nobody actually uses. And I'd been having that discussion in my brain. And when I got there, it was busy. Like, it was our bit was busy, obviously, because we went in there. But there were loads of different people using the library, so it wasn't like nobody uses it, but we're like we must keep this. So it was nice to see that it's been really, really well used. So I'm hoping that that gives it in this appeal or whatever it's having. If there's been plenty of people coming in, that'll be good. So hopefully they won't entirely destroy it because it's so good. And because it's new, I think I said before, it's purpose built for the modern learner. So there's so many areas of tables with plugs and USB plugs, so you can do your laptop, set up whatever gear up that you need to do. So I hung around there for a little bit, had a chill, looked at some of the books. The books they have are so good. They've got so many women in history books, and whoever works there, or just somebody who'd been there, because I thought, oh, I could do that myself. Sort of picking out ones and put in the displayed sort of section. There were loads of women in history books. Saw a Claire Mully one. I was like, yes. So I hung out there. And then I've been writing an article for one of the magazines. I won't say what yet, but I need to get that finished by the end of the week. So I set myself a timer basically and found a nice little seat in the library and wrote a whole chunk, wrote the majority of that, I think, in the library. I need to. When it first opened, I need to find a designated day, even if it's once every 2 weeks, where I go and work in the library because it's just such, again, for brain resetting, it's so good. Jamie says, I think yes, they have a Saturday wargames club. They've got quite a lot of clubs on, which is really nice. And part of me was like, I wonder if I could book what it's like booking a room for a talk. I could do a talk. Bob says, incidentally, did you know the leading academic organisation for women in computer science is called the Lovelace Colloquium? Nice, I like that. There was a talk, because I'm a talk addict now. There was a talk on Thursday, but I was wise and went, I'm very tired. I'm not going to go to that one. But there was a talk on, and it was packed. It was packed. It was an evening one. CJ DeBarra's been doing it was like a collection of Nottingham queer history stuff. So that was that looked ace, but it was 3 hours, and I thought I'm too tired. So I can't. I need to not. But that looked ace. There's lots happening, which is really nice. Um, have you still not finished? No, I did no work when I got home last night. I went, nope, I'm not doing it. I got home. I updated Andy on all the gossip that I'd learned that day. Obviously, none, because I never gossip about anything whatsoever. So there was no shenanigans to report to him at all. And then I passed out on the hammock. And then, oh yeah, I woke up. I woke up on the hammock, and I went, oh, and kind of like went in and then went to bed. And after I woke up, I went, my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. So where am I? Oh crap! I put my glasses out on the grass, and it was dark by then. So I had to go out with the phone torch to find my glasses. Of course, there was a slug on there going, "Hello, we are everywhere." It's like, "Damn you, slugs, get off my sticks." Um, so that was really nice. I do like collapsing into a hammock. It's like one extra step, but if I'm about to have a bed lie or something and the weather's fine, it's like, let's go out in the hammock. There's air and everything there, and I'm less likely to go for a forever snooze, which I did do. But so I had a really nice sort of just chilled out afternoon, which means I'm gonna do some chilled things today. That's not just sleeping, but it's mostly chores. But I like a little pot around. Um, I bought an old man. I did buy an old man. I can't show you him because my phone's dead. I haven't got him yet. I've just got the picture. I can't remember who it was on Twitter posted. I saw it was like last week that it popped up on my thing. It was a little old Citadel man, and on the tab it just says old man, and it's just a little. So because I'm hilarious, I did send it to a whole bunch of people, going, I didn't know they made a miniature of you. I guess you're the old man. But by doing that, made me the old man by just start saying that same joke a lot. And on the finally realistic depictions and miniature. And I thought, actually, I really like that old man model. So someone linked me to one on eBay. So I've got an old man in the post. So I might actually make a painting video. So oh, David says it was on Twitter. It was like looking into a mirror after a day in the office. So I bought one because I want to write. I, Jamie, I went to the old man factory and everyone there had vague recollections of you. I want to do a video called I Painted an Old Man. So look at that. There's the fit. No, it's not plastic. It's not a plastic modular one. It's an old metal one, and he's got a cane and some big eyebrows on the go. Oh yeah, talking big eyebrows. I had some cool minis, but they're over there. Um, someone will have it in there. But old man. What else have we got? Um, oh yeah, my plan after today. Today, yes, I'm going to chill out, tidy up. So I put this hobby space together, and I got the paints organised and went, it's going to be here, so I can just paint whenever I like. And then I bought an MDF tray to put it all on, and because the MDF tray needs gluing together, nothing has happened. It's just been there. Well, it looks like I can never hobby again until the MDF tray is assembled, and that's not going to happen. So I'll never paint anything ever again, I guess. Which I'm sure you can all relate to. So one of my goals today is to get. It's not even hard. I've just got to PVA a few bits together, but it's just that like, oh look, here's another step away from me doing the thing. But if I can get that, not even some hobby done, but just set up and ready, then that'd be nice. That'd be nice. So yeah, been a busy old week. Yeah. So I've been in a grumble. Been in a grumble most of the week before I got here. I've got obviously got to. I've got no notes. There's no. I'm looking at this like there's no notes. It's an invoice. An invoice for the MDF thing that I've written Ada Fight Old Man on. Um, so last week's video has got a big amount of hits for no particular reason. Just because I said I took it down, I put it back up, and then obviously people are like, oh, "It's in there," and then watched it and go, "I don't get it. There's nothing in there." We've had a bit of a crisis after that show to probably Wednesday, I think, and I was really struggling, and it was taking a lot of my brain because again I've got to try and figure out. I haven't planned a thing here, but that's what the show is. Um, so this is, this show is me rambling off on things. There's not a huge amount of people huge amount of people see it, and you know, most people watching are aware that it's just a series of conscious thoughts tied together by coffee. Daniel's here. Woo woo. And I'm not a streamer, I'm not an influencer, I'm not a YouTuber. This is just kind of a bit of an extra goodies for Bad Squiddo. Sean says, can you post pics on here? No. Are you looking for the old man? I might have 5% left that I can just show him. And that's when I show a picture of Sean Randall. Oi! Um, I don't know if my phone, just before I get to my serious chat. Where is the old man? Where is the old man? Old man. Dun, dun. Gonna lose him. Go on, got him, get him. Get the old man. Um, Old man. There he is. I was thinking, who's the recentish one I sent it to? Like, oh, Nick. Oh, Phil Paint Stuff is the guy who posted the old man. Um, this is the guy. So this was his that I think he'd found in his collection. Whoa. So I bought one. I don't. I'm not a au fait on. Sean Randall has the old man, but Doctor I am the old man. So yeah, back to my serious monologue. I'm not. Yeah, you can't put links or images in the chat, I'm afraid. Oh, you can post your old man into the Bad Squiddo group though. On if you want to post your old men into Baggy's cave, that'd be funny. Post share us your old men. So yeah, I'm not an influencer, not a YouTuber, none of that stuff. I do this streaming as like an extra thing because I like you lot and I like giving you updates and you're getting to see a human face. But yeah, you know, it's not like you can subscribe to the tier or anything like that. It's not connected to a Patreon, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my living. It's not what I do. It's, if anything, it's to feed you back to Bad Squiddo. John says, I like hereabouts how a miniature of an old man is the equivalent of weird cheesecake miniatures in other communities. Oh, no, unsolicited old man, no solicited old man pics. Not like the one I did where I jump scared you with Tim Prell's belly button as his name. The 4th of August will always be known as Tim Prell's belly button day. So last week, I got some messages, a series of messages about the something I said in the show that I was negative on something, and I looked back and because I thought, oh no, I don't want to upset anybody. That's not what I want to do. And I went through it a few times, and I didn't really find the negativity. Again, trying to phrase my words properly. Because I also don't want anything to sort of blow up after last week as well. So I got into a big sad about, and so last week I'm like, how can you talk about the thing without talking about the thing? Last week I was at GriffCon. I was there for Friday and Saturday. I said I had a nice time. I had a nice time. The talk was amazing. So happy everyone went. Really appreciate them setting up all the equipment and all that sort of thing. And that was cool. Seeing lots of people was cool. But I don't know if I got in trouble because I didn't then say GriffCon was really cool, like I have with say BOYL, for example. And it got me on all sorts of discussions with some of my friends, and all about how work that's seen as fun is viewed, and that's a sort of philosophizing. So the difference, because I'd said in the show last week that thinking back, I'd rather make sure, because of my energy, because of my health, I like to concentrate on, kind of split my time in hobby stuff to work that's paid, because it's work and it's my job and my living, or things where I don't get paid, but it's me going as a punter, and it's fun, and I'm not working. So if there's any sort of crossover of those two bits, sometimes I have in the past. I've done a whole bunch of again, I shouldn't have to justify it, but I've done a whole bunch of voluntary stuff, and I still do. But I was just reminiscing that I need to be careful that I don't do too much of that, because it really takes it out of me. And the aftermath of that took it out from me this week. And as somebody that has to, I don't get sick pay or anything, it dented my business, and I was kind of made felt like I was made to feel like I just want money off you all, and all I care about is money. But I need the money to do the things. Um, and again, this is going to be an incoherent ramble because it's not a planned sort of video. So to compare, because I went to Bring Out Your Lead yesterday, Bring Out Your Lead didn't have any sort of specifications. They don't even know I went, sort of thing. They didn't say, can you come and can you do stuff? So I was there entirely the same as anyone else, the same as any punter there. And I could, if I wanted, I could go there for 2 minutes and go home. And if I wanted, I could stay there all day. I could help out or I could not help out. And my brain, especially my brain, which is very full all the time, I'm very tired all the time because I do a lot. The choice is different. Whereas if I was at Bring Out Your Lead as work, it's a entirely different brain headset. So even if the work is fun, it's still work. And that's what I was trying to get into my thoughts this week, where I've been musing a lot, because it's like, but you had fun, like, but it's still work. And I don't want to drag out any sort of issues. But I also feel it's important, like, if I say that I had the best time ever, like I did with Bring Out Your Lead, I didn't have the best time ever. I had a really nice time. It wasn't one of those where I was like on the way back, but I had a really nice time. I want you to believe me. So I want to just be honest about stuff, and I've never been one of those people that's kind of like, oh yay, this is great. Um, this was really good. And I do get that some of the sort of YouTuber people are kind of more obliged to do that because their entire living, it's all about what your living is. Their entire living is the videos. Um, my entire living is the shop of, but the whole brand of Squiddo. Um, whereas this side of it's just, again, it's an aside. And if I was to go into that sort of adding up, I'd be like, well, for pure money making, why do I spend an hour every Sunday chatting bollocks to you all? Because I don't need to do that, but it's something that I choose to do. But if I had to, again, that's the whole mindset, especially with my weirdo brain as well. It's that whole like, oh, now I have to do it. I won't. Because I'm trying to be as polite as possible. It's making me go in lots of roundabout phrases. But I'd rather this just sort of go, because I say it's taken up time this week, and put me in a bit of a, like, again, one of those, why am I doing this? And then it's really good that I went to BOYL and went, this is why I do it. Yes, because of peak ponics. So I'm always in. So what I spoke to a few people that I've known for a long time and said, why is it always me? Why am I the person that says the thing and then I get in trouble, but I feel the thing needs to be said? And I did not say anywhere near the amount of the thing that I wanted to say. Again, well, see, this is what happens. I get into this tangle. It would have all been better if I'd just said absolutely nothing. Um, but the point is, I very much value my own integrity, but I also get that sometimes it's what's it? It's sometimes, yeah, don't say the thing, just move on, because I never want to project anything bad about anything in the hobby, and I want everyone to do well. I want all the events to do well because they get more people there. But what made me particularly upset last week was that I had said in the stream that somebody had made me feel very uncomfortable on, I can't remember when it was, Monday night. I was very close to having one of my mega mental episodes, and Andy had to help me get down, and that was partly because I had all built up over the weekend. So I'd been somewhere that had made me feel very unwell mentally, and I'd very politely conveyed that. And then I got really upset that instead of please tell us more, this is, this isn't right. What happened? Who's upset you? What can we do? It felt very much like you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say it was nice. And that's been a whole thing. And people have gone, go on, say all the things. Like, I just want to move past it. Um, uh, unless, no, I don't. I just want to move past it. So I was also saying to myself that I need to either shut up, and just shut up, Annie, or carry on saying the things, but um have a tougher skin, basically. I'm like, well, I can't. It sounds like a humble brag. I can't not be so honest, but I can't. And what's the saying? So yeah, so I'd very much like to move on because it's got me behind from other things, and yes, Bad Squiddo is how I make my money. Um, so where am I at? Where am I at? Yeah, I don't know. I was like, if I got in trouble for last week's thing, I'm sure this week will probably be worse. I'll probably be on a hit list. No one's gonna kill me. Um, Again, just it'd be really good if I'd actually like written out what I was gonna say, but that'd be more time. So the article that I'm currently writing has been taking up a lot of time as well, which is in response to that Treadaway, the Treadaway thing about him saying that representation's gone too far. So there's just a lot of energy and time. And I was kind of like, when am I going to do my job? Because I'm not getting to do my job, although I've agreed to do the stuff. But it's that whole I have I have to do extra things just to make things as normal as possible. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. Don't know where I'm going with this. Um, but I've got one more bit coffee, and then I'll end soon. But I want to be clear that I never want to. I'm not upset. Nobody really, most of the time, tends to upset anyone. But I was nearly really ill after this and after this event. The events, I've spoken to other people that felt similar, and yeah, instead of like this is terrible, it was well very defensive, and I get that as well. And again, I know they're all going to be watching this and going, yep, she is the worst. But if I feel like I can't give feedback because of that sort of intimidation, that's just a bit rubbish, because I would like to. But yeah. Mm, something I do feel needs to be said. She says after going, I'll draw a line under it. I do want to draw a line under it because this stuff does take a lot in my head, and it's just there a lot. And again, I'm gonna get into trouble. Somebody I spoke to in the week, I actually met while I was having issues with an old wargaming club where I'd kind of joined, and everyone had said something to me, and then I said the same thing, and they went, no, 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 no. So yeah, I don't know. So yes, it's a lot of stress because it's like, well, I don't want to harm my business, don't want to harm anyone, but if something's not right, I'd like to be able to say that without being the worst person ever. And for lots of reasons, lots of people don't say the thing. and it does a lot of the time come down to me. And I think because there's been so much this year, there's been so many behind the scenes that I can't tell you, but I do loads for the community. There's been a lot. And anyone who sort of spoke to me personally might have got a small bit of some of the shenanigans, but there's a lot of battles behind the scenes, and I've just kind of like I don't want it to be me again, but then also it's like maybe it should be me. Um, the I don't want to. Yeah, I wanted. There's one thing I did want to point out, because people didn't know, but without again going into it. Um, oh, do I see? See, it's just like, oh, by saying the thing, I'm gonna get into more trouble. So, but then people do need to say the thing. So I knew, I knew I was doing a thing where, um, oh no, it wasn't Treader on this. He will when he sees the article. It is me always being the troublemaker, and I hate it. And I'm now really stressed just talking about it. Um, which sucks. And being suggested that I'm not supportive of the community, and the phrase "give back to the community," I'm always a bit like I'm in debt. I feel like we have a good back and forth relationship either way, rather than me just taking from you, because that would be terrible. But yeah, I think fun work is not seen as work. And even if it's something that you'd willingly do, because you have to do it, it's a different mindset. So this all came from me saying that I'd spent a lot of money last week to work for free, which I was aware of before I was going, so I can't complain about that. But I didn't realize how much extra would the requirement, and that's a whole thing where I don't want to talk about the details. I'd rather talk to the people about it. But it was extra for other people that I saw just working really solidly for 2 days, um, and spending hundreds of pounds to attend to do the work which you would do normally and get paid for. Um, and I don't want to talk about it publicly. I'd rather talk about it privately. But a big one of the things that I did have an issue with that doesn't affect me directly is that there were workshops that were on that customers had to pay money for, um, but the people running the workshops didn't know that people were charged for it, and so the money didn't go. So none of the guests got any costs covered, or any they didn't get any costs covered, or any pay. Again, people knew that. We knew that when we went, um, but didn't know that there was a fee for the thing that we were doing. So what where am I going with that? So I felt bad for my customers that thought that the money would be going to the people, and I spoke to a couple and they did think that. So that's something that I wasn't a fan of, especially the people that worked a lot harder than me, because I hid. And I know you'll be watching this. I had to hide. So I had to hide. I didn't have to hide at Bring Out Your Lead. I had to hide, because I saw the others getting really exhausted, and they're a lot nicer than me. Um, so I didn't like the idea of people paying thinking they were supporting the artist, basically, which is what I would have assumed if I was a punter. But when the artists had to pay to do all of the things, especially people I know that are very overworked. So there weren't a huge amount of us. And I know now I've said this, I'm going to get another email, and then I'll probably have another couple days where I'm really sad because they've said, "Wah." um, but I'd always rather just feedback and be like, this wasn't ideal, but here are some ideas for how you can improve, because you do get events like this. People say, "Oh yeah, I had a great time," and then they sort of Homer Simpson back into a hedge, and then next year they're not there, and the sort of the proof of is it good or bad is whether people come back. And I want people to come back because I saw people there having a really nice time, and they should be, and there should be more events, and it's lovely. And yeah, I don't want to make any enemies or talk bad of anything, but I also don't feel like I could ethically say to you people that it was the best thing ever, because it wasn't. And I did have some issues, and I feel like I shouldn't be made to feel like I can't say those things. What have I got? John Hodgson says, if you work a convention as a guest, you're donating 2 days' wages to that event, or you're working a 16-day stretch. Yeah, it's that where you don't then get the extra. And if you sign up for that, so there's plenty of stuff that I'll do where I know that's the score, and yeah, you're like, okay, well, we'll do this. But there's other bits where you kind of then have other assumptions. So yeah, again, I've made it worse by giving a half story. And yeah, I don't want to upset anyone, but apparently I've already upset everybody involved by saying that I was really stressed and on the verge of a mental health episode by attending the thing that I was a guest at, um, and had to pay to be a guest. So I don't know. Maybe it's not for me. I did realise that the my small voyeur into being an influence, being seen as an influencer type. It's like I don't think that's for me. I don't think I could do that. Does involve because like the thing is again, I'm still going. I have to grit my teeth a lot, like every day, because if I spoke about everything that upset me, um, I'd have no support at all. Um, I'd have no support because it's a very small community, and that's the thing. It's like everyone talks. So if somebody gets sort of screwed over or whatever, it's. But I spend a lot of time with this. Like I don't know. Again, my brain's. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. I'm like, oh crap! I don't want to have to take this video down as well. Um, it's there's just a lot happening all the time, and I've had issues this week, not this week, thank the Lord. I've had issues this year, last year. I don't think the year before, but the year before that, where I've had to I've had to give statements to the police about things, nothing to do with that event. Um, but that's a sign of how severe some of these behind the scenes hobby land things have been. And I've been doing lots of trying to get safeguarding done within the community. And I think so. I guess everyone gets a bit defensive. If you've organising the show is such hard work. And I can understand everyone being tired and a bit emotional. So maybe that was part of it. But I don't know. I think because I felt like I'd spent a lot of time. I'd spent 2 days working, whilst paying for everything, um, and the talk spent a long time. I spent a long time doing the talk, and I'd kind of discounted it in my head because I thought, well, it's something I wanted to do, but I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for that event. And I specifically offered to do that, so I've got zero thing to sort of say about that because I made that work for myself. But that was a lot of work, um, and to not really get the thanks for that of more of the like, but why didn't you say it was the best thing ever? Where I could have said a lot worse and now kind of have because of the stress and effect, and because of I took last week's stream down because it was getting some comments and there were lots of not nice comments, and I went, I'm just gonna take it down because I've got a lot to do. And I'm exhausted. I haven't had a proper break in a long time, and in my head, that was part of it. I thought last weekend was going to be a break where I could just do a bit of relaxing, and I couldn't, and I ended up nearly unwell. Um, and I don't know where I was going. Where was I going? Needing a break, um, making things worse. I don't know, but I feel it's important. I feel it's important to say, um, and yeah, I want all this stuff to to happen. And I spend a lot of time not doing my job because of having that was it. So I was like, I've done all this stuff out of my own pocket. Like I don't really want to drag anyone else into it, but Louise was giving away her goblins, which are £40 retail. So she gave away a lot of goblins to all the people doing the class, again out of her own pocket, as did everybody else that was running the events. To then, just focus on that I haven't said I haven't worked hard enough. I felt like it was like you haven't worked hard enough. And yeah, there are more issues that I don't want to go into, and there was a very valid reason why I was very stressed, and I'm sad that they didn't seem to be like why what could have happened that was very made you very ill, basically. um, and not just myself. There was lots of unrest, as it were. But yes, Andy has a very good thing there. He says, if you want to end on a positive note, you could talk of your recently acquired love for the work of respected actor Michael Emerson. I sure could. So I'll just wrap. It's gone on long. And again, I haven't really read some of the comments. But it's tough. And I think what was extra tough on the Friday, my card got declined, um, and my card got declined, and the place wouldn't take cash as I was trying to buy my lunch, and we'd been invited to lunch at the thing to entertain the platinum level guests, but were then told we'd have to pay if we wanted to attend that. So we ate at the hotel, but then my card declined and they couldn't take my cash. So I was then in more of a stress. Like, well, I can't even afford to eat at this thing that I'm a guest of. But thank you, Mediocre Hobbies, who I'd only just met, and he bought my lunch. Woo! And then when I tried to pay him back, he wouldn't accept it. So there are super ace people. So thanks, Mediocre Hobbies. So it was awesome to meet him. Robert says safeguarding is a legal requirement. Yes, I was thinking about this yesterday, of like, because there were a couple of people at the thing that will actually turned out to not be there after all my stress yesterday at BOYL. And I was thinking there needs to be a way that's not just me having to throw myself out as the messenger and get heavily shot all the time, because I'm the one that says it, um, at these events. Because something recently I've had to do is some behind the scenes work to make sure there's not a convicted paedophile working at a wargaming event. That's really fun. So all sorts of shenanigans like this, and I guess my sadness that that a bit of criticism has got me in hot water, whereas there's a lot worse, like destroying 100 websites. But that's fine. Where have I got? What have I got on there? So yes, I've got myself into more trouble, no doubt. But I'm hoping it's annoying that I'm somebody that likes to speak out, and I don't mind taking the hit of saying it, but I'm also extremely emotional and have various mental health issues, and I'm very sensitive. So I stick it to the man and then go, oh no, the man's angry at me. I didn't want this. So I'm just going to work on accepting, and it's part of that whole not everyone's gonna like you, and it's okay if as long as you feel you're doing the correct thing. And yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, other people are too intimidated, especially after seeing the reaction that I've got. They're very much not feeling like they're able to say what the issue was, and it's a shame, because I am such a fan of feedback, because then you can improve, and yeah, you can get things better, everyone can be happier, they can be dealt with. So yeah, that then put me off going to Bring Out Your Lead, because I was thinking, oh, now I've got no energy for the fun thing. But I'm really glad that I did go, and it gave me a nice little boof. Next week I will be at BritCon. If you would like to pre-order items, because all I care about is your cash. I want all of your cash, and if you need to sell organs or children or remortgage your house, I'm here for your cash. That's all I want, because I am mean. I want your cash. What was it they say in Always Sunny? It's something like money, money me, money now. That's clearly it. But actually, if you do want things at BritCon, which is a trade show in Nottingham, but I don't trade there because I would rather play games because I've chose not to trade there, and that's okay. And the organisers aren't angry at me. So I don't trade there. I play at Two Fat Lardies, and I have a bloody good time. But if you would like to buy some Bad Squiddo, you can do collect at show and do it through Mammoth Miniatures, who is a chap called Nick, and I like him a lot. And I'm going to be buying one of his giant ghouls on the day. So next weekend, I've got a feeling, though I need to check, that the show does something weird, like it ends on Sunday. It ends on Sunday, but ends on Sunday at like 1 o'clock or something. So make sure if you do go on the Sunday that you've checked the times, because I got there last Sunday to look around the stalls and it was closing. And but then I was waited because I'm a celebrity, an influential person apparently. So wandered around anyway, chatting to people. So yeah, this weekend, if you want to buy anything, you're like, oh, I'd like to pick up some Bad Squiddo stuff, to stop people getting annoyed that people are coming up trying to buy things from me, and again to separate pleasure and work. Pass the work on to Mammoth Miniatures, yes, for exposure. He'll love that exposure. I haven't got a single pre-order yet. I'm not expecting tons. I had one last year, which paid for the terrain that I then bought off F for Freddy. So that was really cool. What have we got? Yes, Andy says BritCon is weirdly good for customers because most people there are playing tournaments, so you can wander around browsing and not have massive crowds at the trade stands. Yeah, it's just not as great as a trade, but I'll get in trouble. I'll always get in trouble. Robert says, here are some suggestions. Oh no, it's there's a whole thing in place, but I mean more for events, like if there's like a body. And I was thinking about this with YouTubers. I was like, they need like management, because I know non-wargaming YouTubers, like when I watch the commentary folk and all that, they always mention their management, and even like TikTokers have got management. And I feel like there needs to be somebody who manages the YouTube folk so that they don't get tarred with anything if they say, oh no, I require money to work. But there's like someone to be the professional bad guy and go, these are rates for things. And because there's just, yeah, unions, there's just a lot of like, well, if you don't do the thing, it means you're a meanie and you hate the community. And it's like, no, just let me rest. I did think about asking people to come up and like pack orders for me, for the community. Jamie says, might go the first time as a browser rather than a tournament player. Might actually get the beer. Yeah, and the beer ran out, didn't it? They've got 2 beers. I think there's a Warlord beer this year as well. What I've got in the chat. Yeah, so I'll be playing Last Sword is Drawn and What a Cowboy, but in a Zulu war setting. I think there's a whole bunch of games and you kind of just pick some. So I'll be playing that. If you want some Squiddo stuff, go to Mammoth Miniatures. I'll be around for a couple beers afterwards, but I'm not going to the Lardy Curry for my own self-preservation because I'm just going to get trashed. Thank you also to George Quayle, who also cheered me up a lot on Friday. He's someone I know through Old Hammery stuff, and he took me out to Mem Saab. There's 3 really good Indian restaurants in Nottingham in a row, and I hadn't been out for ages, so I went out, and it was really nice. And I was like, oh, being out, being a person, this is good. So yeah, I've gone way over time. There's a whole bunch of people here. Hopefully, I just want to end all discussion of last week, to be fair, and just move on. Clearly, part ways. I expect it would be nice to be asked what was really crap, but you know, that's it. You've just got to move on. I've been freestyling as always, and I'm always like, oh, what was the thing that I should probably have said, like I did last week when I went, oh, I left that half said. Yeah, I think there's extra pressure as woman to be, very nice and say everything's lovely. And sometimes it's very tempting, but then I think, is it going to make anything better for the next people? Um, if you've got people, as prestigious as Peach and Louise doing things for free, then how can anyone else, try and make a living out of it? So there's all that. There's been a lot of philosophical thought, and yeah, me feeling bad, but I'm back on, like, I do some good. People enjoy it, and I like being honest to you. And it sounds cheesy because that's someone who's dishonest to be like, yes, I'm very honest all the time, and I'm a nice person. Um, but I know that you can tell. I don't have a good lie face anyway. So I know that you can tell when I'm genuinely excited about something. So I don't know why I would say if I wasn't. So for example, the peak ponics is amazing. Going back to what Andy said, yes, Michael Emerson. What a guy. What a guy. Hopefully he's not cancelled as I say this. That'll be the next thing. Um, Hopefully he'll never have done anything bad. I've just finished my rewatch of Lost, one of the best TV shows ever. So good. Love it. And Michael Emerson in there, who plays Ben Linus, is like my favourite guy ever. So I decided I'd watch other Michael Emerson thingies. So I did try. I've started one person of interest. I'm still not sure. I might have to try Evil and see how I like that. But I've decided I do want to watch all the things with him in it because he's just, I don't know, he's a weirdo that I like. So that's what it's about. Right, I've probably got myself wound up again and shouldn't have said things or said anything, but I won't take this down. But I may actually moderate comments because I've got a lot to do. It's been very busy and it's been very tough the last few months have been extra tough. Hence failing to pay for my fish and chips on Friday, going, oh, I guess I'm skint. So yeah, the sort of suggestion that I'm here just to get all the money because I've just got my, what is it? It says in Black Books, piano-shaped pool or something. Jill, I may take you up on that actually. Jill, offering comment moderator. But if you turn comments off, you don't get the algorithm. But you can do moderated comments where you just got to approve them. So I'll just do that. But I'll trust people first, and then if it goes bad, um, yeah. So thank you. I don't want anyone to ever feel bad coming out of this. I appear to have taken up the mantle of the person that says the things. Um, and I think the extra fear is that I've already got so many other things going against me. And it's not an excuse, it's not a using the thing, but being a woman already sets me back a lot. Um, Making women figures from history, not being a top bloke is already that. And then if a woman has a problem with something, she's being a massive bitch. So that's more of a thing. So we're more likely to have to like please people, and whereas I could be a top bloke and do what I like. Right, I'm gonna get out of here. Before I go, let's show you this again because it's wicked. Look at this. Look, it's Peak Ponics, and it's the best thing ever. Can be an ancient beef. Pink Onyx is wicked. I've got nothing else to show off. I can if I could go, but we're in like over an hour. I got a wicked figure from Gary Morley, which is tried to get Brian Ansell's face as an elf, which is really cool. I got a goblin from Drew Williams and a nice little dwarf from Curis, who's got a Kickstarter either on or about to launch. So have a look at that. That's also the thing where, like, if I shout out things, I like to because I like it, and I think that's why I work really well with John on the backdrops because it's not like I'm there going, yes, the backdrops are great, like I genuinely love them, and that's why I do it. Otherwise I just get a job where I get a nice wage. I found out you people, the employed. I didn't realise 5 weeks of paid holiday was standard. That's wild for a normal full time. I haven't been employed for a very long time. It's like, oh, imagine that. That'd be ace. I've no idea why I got onto that, but yeah. Yeah, I'd get one of those jobs if I wanted to just do that, and I never want to feel pressured into shilling anything because that's um yeah, it's just not me. I don't want to do that. So yes, thank you very much. Thanks for being lovely. And yeah, don't go say don't go say anything anywhere. I just want it all to go away and have a lovely day. A lovely day at BritCon next week, and then I've got a bit of an empty calendar, which would be nice because I have been overdoing it. So again, thank you very much. See you later. So I don't want to end it on a high and it's on a low. What have I got to show you? Phone's dead. Can't show you any of that. I did show you the sculpts. They're very good. Um, and when I was sad that I had to take the video down last week is because I was really chuffed with that Mansell's chat, and I'm well up for doing that. So the men going, ooh, which I'm sure other people will be unhappy about. But that's the is it dichotomy? Is that the right word? Curse of Annie is doing the thing and then being sad about the thing. I'm here to shake things up. I don't like it. Oh no. Oh no. Ratty has said, did I miss book reveal? Yes. That's a good point to end on. Yes. Never surrender to a narrow view of gender. Just let people be and don't start like going, oh, a woman's got short hair. She's a witch. Like, go home. Right, see you later. Thanks for coming to this very long one. And I'll see you all very soon. Oh yeah, I'll have BritCon news for you next week. So I'll probably do the stream and then might pop back there. So yes, and I'm totally gonna buy loads of stuff off F4 Freddy. So I'll have a haul to show you next week as well, actually. So thank you very much. And I'm getting out of here and I'm gonna eat some toast. Bye.